Happy New Year, Bonne Année, Feliz Año y alles Gute zum neuen Jahr. Here is Melanie on January 1st, 2025 with the Astro Weather for the week until January 7th. So yeah, a lot can be said about the whole year. You can find that in my newly published article on my blog that I also posted on Facebook and on Instagram. And it's about the energies of the year, sun, moon, eclipses, planetary shifts, all about the new year in a concise way, and hopefully can help you with planning and with a general overview. So in this video, I will just, so to say, discuss the energies of the week, which are also quite, there's a lot going on, there's a lot of changes happening. And it all started with the new moon in Capricorn on the 30th of December, really initiating the new year with that first new moon after winter solstice, first winter new moon right into the new year. What a good foundation for it all. Yes, we also still have Sagittarius going on in the background via Mercury until January 8th. But otherwise, Capricorn gives us a good footing, more solid, realistic, and tangible reality, right? That we're looking into now, that we're not just looking, we're actually manifesting what we have envisioned, and we're moving forward. We're moving forward upward with a light, with a slowly increasing light. And yes, it's work, but hopefully you have also good sustenance and do things in a sustainable way that doesn't exhaust you, let alone exploit yourself. Right? So Capricorn's expression is a use. So using time and energy wisely and respectfully, working with the land, working with this earth body, working with what's given, and using it for the highest purpose. And also Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn, ruler of this new moon, is currently in Pisces, still for most of the year and until February 14th, 2026, when Saturn fully leaves Pisces for Aries. This year we have a summer break with Saturn already briefly in Aries, but for now Saturn is in Pisces, and Pisces is where currently there's lots of spiritual teaching, spiritual lessons are being conveyed by Saturn, also Neptune, not far from it. So again, maybe we need to release, we need to surrender all these prejudices, surrender judgments, and let go of grievances, let go of anything that burdens us energetically, or also what being also protective of our own energy field, of course, right? So that's where also the vibrational factor comes in, the softening energy of this new moon, and also perspective for the year, since this year will be very Piscean, also in transition to Aries. So it's quite a transition year, but also an emergence year of something new, of a whole new era, right? So we're having Pluto now freshly in Aquarius, and when Saturn and Neptune enter Aries for this in the summer for a bit, they show us also more about what this renewal is all about. Let alone Uranus also changing signs for the first time, going into Gemini in July. So there'll be lots of shifts going on this year. And of course, the bigger backdrop is Pluto in Aquarius. So one could even say we are moving now into the Aquarius age while we are also releasing the Pisces age. And so Saturn, ruler of the Capricorn, new moon that we just had, is in Pisces, also showing us where things are ending, like, for example, all sorts of dependencies, codependencies, addictions, and all these patterns that are toxic, right? And while at the same time, the the Aquarius age is coming in, and that was also emphasized through today's freshly young moon now in Aquarius meeting Pluto this morning. And so that was quite another initiator marker for the year that change is happening and a new humanity is emerging, a new community of like-minded people. I found that also very cool today, this Capricorn Aquarius day hologram that I had. I went to the cathedral here in town for old music for the new year, beautiful Baroque music from France, wonderful immersion, very apropos Saturn in Pisces. One could also say the Capricorn factor, right? Very traditional. And then I visited friends for their New Year's reception where there were lots of people from different cultures. That's why I also was still inspired to give you New Year's greetings in different languages. And that was great to connect, right? All walks of life, but we have lots of things in common. For example, if we're people who have traveled a lot and appreciate different cultures in different countries, so that's what can connect us through otherwise social boundaries that are dissolving now anyway. So what else is going on for the week? I said the moon in freshly in Aquarius came with Pluto and also opposed Mars in retrograde in early Leo. And that's where the first alignment of the week comes in, which will be tomorrow. Tomorrow, Mars retrograde, barely in Leo, going back to Cancer on the 6th of January, opposes Pluto in early Aquarius. And you can see that also in the 2025 birth chart here, right? I set up this chart for the article I pointed out before. Here you can see the alignment of Moon and Pluto right opposite Mars. So this is a marker from January 1st, 2nd exact, but also it's in effect, one could say, yeah, end of December till early mid-January, right? And it even comes again when Mars will go forward again. That will be the third alignment of the three. The first was in November when Mars was still back in Cancer and Pluto was still back in Capricorn. But now we have these two with Mars freshly in Mars in Leo barely, and Pluto freshly in Aquarius. So that one comes back on April 26th. So that's also a recurring theme that needs to be processed. What's going on here from the Aquarius side, right? That's the bigger evolution that's currently going on, right? You can see all these changes are happening in systems, and that can be reforms, that can be technological innovation, that can be a whole spectrum of the power of Capricorn, power of Aquarius, right? And that can be the power of technology, the power of modernity, power of the people. But it can be also abused, as we know, right? So there can be lots of control via technology that we might need to heed. And then what does Leo say? Leo is the sign of the individual, expressing him, herself creatively, being joyful, playful, like a kid, having fun, being seen, and dancing as if everybody watches or nobody watches. And yeah, so basically this is a very expressive energy, and it's also about individuals asserting themselves in their autonomy and what sovereignty is a Leo word, right? So you could say also there's a dynamic between sovereignty and from the Aquarius side, the collective, the energy of group consciousness. Maybe you've noticed that in a positive way or in a dilemma way where you said, well, this is what I need to do for myself. But there's these events going on and people gathering here and there, and maybe I can combine both, meet people, do something together, celebrate together with a returning light, and maybe collaborate with them. Also, friendships can be formed, and all of that. But in some cases, it can be also power dynamics between people, right? When ego takes over from the Mars perspective. Mars retrograde in Leo still until January 6th, and then it goes back to Cancer, as I said, has a lot to do with backtracking from ego wars, and where the ego is in charge and easily triggered, and then confrontational unnecessarily. De-escalation, says Mars retro. Then what else do we have this week? Yeah, tomorrow on the 2nd, Venus will also change signs, go from Aquarius, where she's been since, when was that, in December? I lose track of all the individual things, but you get the idea. So let me just quickly check. Would have been around December 6th or 7th. Actually, it was also on December 6th. Venus entered Aquarius on the day when Mars went retrograde. So, and tomorrow Venus leaves Aquarius for Pisces, where Venus is exalted. Venus is the strongest in all the signs of the zodiac in Pisces. Why is that so? Because that's where we are totally in that where we can be, not automatically, right? But we can be in this quality of love that is transpersonal, that is unconditional, that is just a state of union, and it's not meant to be between people. It is about oneness, right? And can be also a blissful experience. Or we can get, with Pisces, of course, we have to watch when Venus especially meets Saturn. Saturn keeps an eye on that. When we get enmeshed, when we get, again, codependent, or we get swept away by fantasies and dreams that are unrealistic. But all in all, Venus in Pisces is a beautiful energy, and it says, bring it on. And I'm just bathing in this beautiful vibe here. Maybe I experienced some of that at the music today, and also music yesterday at Kirtan, which is a devotional singing practice. Hadn't been in a while, was wonderful also. And so Venus in Pisces for quite a while. Venus will be in Pisces first phase until February the 3rd, and then from March 27th until April 30th, because Venus will go retrograde. Venus goes retro from early April on until, when is that? Some point in May. Venus is retro. I'm looking. I'm doing this ad hoc here. Venus goes retro in early April. Yeah. Wait a minute. Venus goes retro in March already. That's why I got distracted here. Venus goes retro in early March until mid-April. Here we go. And so she will go retro from Aries on back to Pisces, and that's why she will be back in Pisces and then go fully through Pisces. End of March till end of April. So March 27th till April 30th. And so that will be a strong pointer towards finding Goddess, finding love within maybe what we have looked for on the outer plane with people or with whatever we have been attracted to. So not to externalize, not to project all this, but actually to bring it back. Of course, Venus retro also brings us back to loves from the past, and that can be a sweet thing that we might have lost track of, but we can also look at patterns in relationships with Venus retro. But we're not quite there yet. For now, Venus enters Pisces, and that is of course a beautiful immersion in where we have resonance with, right? At the same time, we might be also more sensitive than usually to what is resonant and what isn't. So, like for example, me at the church today, I had to switch places twice because the first time people were chatting behind me. I wanted to take in this beautiful concert, and the other time is when I sat at the next spot. Somebody had this crazy perfume on with some vanilla, so, but very toxic and very chemical. So I was, you could say, with Venus escape, with Pisces escaping. I was moving on and finding a better spot where I could really relax and take it all in. So with Pisces, we have to be flexible, right? And just adapt, move, swim away, all these things. What else is going on this week? On January 4th, the Capricorn Sun, Capricorn ruled by Saturn, will be in sextile with Saturn in Pisces. So that's double Saturn Capricorn, right? And it's a nice alignment. It is one that is of ease, of opportunity. So this can be a great time to build something from scratch, to get going on projects that you might have procrastinated, put off for a wintry day. And with Saturn in Pisces can be quite forgiving and say, yeah, now it's good energy for it. Things are coming together, or maybe it goes better when we do it with music, or when we do a fusion of things we haven't thought of, right? We're bringing other elements in that are really good blend. And yeah, so no pressure, nothing heavy about that. All about just, yeah, joy, opportunity, flow. Then on January 6th, Mars, as I said, going retro, goes back into Cancer, and that will be from March 6th to April 17th, and it still goes retro until February the 23rd. So that will be another shift of energy, which we notice even more with the full moon on the 13th, which will come with Mars. Not only will the moon come with Mars, the moon will actually occult Mars. So in other words, it's like an eclipse of Mars by the moon. Depending on where you are on planet Earth, you can actually see that the little Mars dot disappears behind the moon disk. And so an exact conjunction, that is quite significant. On the yeah, that will happen actually, that moon Mars on the full moon day of the 13th. We're not quite there yet, but in the meantime, we have a lot going on when the moon goes into Pisces. The moon is in Aquarius now, January 1st and 2nd, and she goes into Pisces on January 3rd in the morning, and will then on January 3rd, which will be the first day of Venus in Pisces, the moon will meet Pisces at 8:21 a.m., so already being close to Venus. Then on the 4th, the moon, still in Pisces, will meet Saturn and occult Saturn. So that is very special. That can be seen in Europe. And what's that all about? Yeah, making your dreams come true, right? This is all about changing vibrations, being open, connective, and then seeing how things can actually fall into place where there might have been obstacles or own, yeah, blockages and limitations. So more is possible when we open up. And then the moon will on the 5th, still in Pisces in the morning, meet Neptune. So the Pisces moon meets Venus, meets Saturn, called Saturn, and meets Neptune, the ruler of Pisces. What a Piscean weekend, starting on Friday, Saturday until Sunday late morning. Wow. So again, wonderful time to really be in flow, in connection, maybe immerse yourself in the arts, doing something that relaxes, that's like a spa energy, and yeah, be with people, go with the flow, right? And let things come to you rather than, yeah, fretting things or being too, yeah, too much in the doing mode. Then, yeah, we have then the moon going into Aries on the 5th, and in the morning, moon in Aries, sun in Capricorn, that's a square, that's a half moon, and that square will be exact on the 6th in the afternoon, 6 being Epiphany. So there can be a friction because the moon in Aries can be impatient and wants things now. Well, Capricorn says everything takes its time. You need to work on it, you need to build it. Doesn't come overnight. It's like an energy between elders, grandparents, and babies or young ones, right? So we might notice that friction, but it's also good energy to actually be, you know, get the ball rolling with something, with projects, with important projects you're have on your radar for the new year, right? It's also waxing moon, and then the moon will be in Taurus from the 7th on in the afternoon. So this astro weather goes till the 7th, so basically until the moon will leave Aries. Then in the meantime, we have now reached the central part of Capricorn as of today, January 1st until January 10th. So you might have picked up my themes around the decanates, the 10-degree markers of signs. We have now central Capricorn, central earth sign relates to again the central earth sign, which is Taurus. So these days have a Taurus undertone. What's that about? Capricorn Taurus combination, building what we value and what we enjoy, right? And at the same time, we have also a planet in Taurus, which is Uranus, and Uranus is going stationary here soon because it goes out of retro on the 30th. And so that can bring an extra element into the picture that has to do with breakthroughs, liberation, into more joy, into more freedom. So maybe the work is done, says Capricorn. Maybe it's time to enjoy and or also do something we truly value and enjoy. And that's it for the Astro Weather this week. I wish you a beautiful first week of January, first week of the year, with the lots of Piscean energy here to keep us relaxed. And I'll see you in a session if you're one of the clients this week, or we see each other. You see me again on this channel, or we see each other in community when we run into each other at all these wonderful events that are currently going on. Have a beautiful one, and again, Happy New Year. Bye.